bishops of Ypsilanti, on Martin Luther King Day, there was a march against Public Act 4, and I'm told there were counter demonstrations as well. And I was just curious to hear what you would say as to the efficacy of Public Act 4 and what its future is.
Sure. Public Act 4 was good legislation. And the reason I say that is it did two things. We've had emergency manager legislation in the state going back to Governor Blanchard. But as time passed, it turned out not to be as effective as it should be, and it had a couple major issues. One major issue is there was no early warning system. Because the long-term best answer is to help communities avoid ever meeting a manager situation. And so we put in this process of preliminary review teams, a lot of things to deal with communities and help them be successful before you get to that, because it's a failure point if you have an emergency manager. I never want to appoint one. The second thing, though, is if you get to the circumstance where you have an emergency manager, and if you look at it, 2010, we had 6 situations. We added one more in 2011. We're talking about a very small handful of situations. If you have an emergency manager situation, too often they were there too long because they weren't fully empowered to do what they needed to do so they could get their job done and get out and get the community back in charge the way you'd like to see happen. So we enhanced the ability of the emergency manager to do their work better, faster, and quicker and get the job done and, again, get communities back on a stable footing and a positive path to success. So I believe it was good legislation.